Acquiring a player with star potential is the first step towards building a winning culture in the NBA. And while years of losing are usually hard to go through for most franchises, they bring the opportunity to select the best prospects from the draft. So, when the Wizards added John Wall, it was believed they'd be able to start developing a winning program in Washington. And while things started to look better for the team after a few years, their future was suddenly put into question after Wall suffered multiple season-ending injuries in consecutive years, and playoff appearances stopped looking like a realistic goal. But after losing over a season, the point guard is ready to make a comeback, and fans in the DC area are excited to see their leader in action once again. However, there's a new concern surrounding the Wizards this time. Will a healthy John Wall be enough to take them back into the playoffs? Welcome to Courtside. Today we're talking about what the return of Wall could mean for Washington and whether it could change how things are looking in the East at the moment. Back in 2010, the Wizards were coming off one of their most disappointing stretches as they followed a few short-lived postseason runs with a couple of seasons of missing the playoffs. Such an underwhelming result was caused by the prolonged absence of star point guard Gilbert Arenas due to either injury or suspension. However, their poor performances resulted in them earning the first pick in the 2010 draft, which they used to select Wall and start what would become a new era for the franchise. At first, the team's intentions weren't clear, given that both he and Arenas played in the same position. However, after starting the season with a poor record, the Wizards decided to move on from the later, giving Wall the keys to the offense and making it clear they planned to build around him. In the end, that season finished as most people expected, with the team having one of the worst records in the league. But Wall's play during his rookie season was a reason for optimism, as he displayed his versatility as well as his elite ability to create for his teammates. Throughout the following 2 years, the point guard continued to grow his game and made steady improvements. However, the Wizards appeared to be stuck in the same position as when they drafted him, given they didn't show promising results during the regular season. But by his fourth season, Wall would start to fill the expectations that were placed on him from a team standpoint as the Wizards finished the season with its best regular season record in 9 years, while also making its return to the playoffs for the first time since 2008. His effort and improved production earned him an All-Star selection and helped Washington make it out of the first round before falling in 6 games against the Indiana Pacers. At the moment, the Wizards looked like a team on the rise that could eventually present the elite teams in the East with a challenge and even reach the later rounds in the playoffs. But as it turned out, things didn't end up going as the team expected. The following season saw the team improve as a whole and the point guard as a leader, and by the time the playoffs came around, they looked like a potential playoff threat as they took a 2-1 series lead against the conference-leading Atlanta Hawks before losing in 6 games. Considering part of the reason behind their loss had to do with Wall being unable to play at full strength after suffering an injury, most people expected the Wizards to improve by next season. But instead, the team suffered a major regression and missed the postseason, starting a stretch of inconsistency in the following years. Washington came back next season by winning the most games since 1979 and came a game away from making the conference finals, but it followed that with another disappointing season in which it was eliminated in the first round. In both years, Wall took his game to the next level by increasing his averages to over 26 points and 10 assists. However, his inability to consistently guide the team to successful seasons started to raise some questions about his value. But unfortunately, the league would get a better idea of how valuable he was in the worst possible way. On December 29, 2018, Wall started the longest period of inactivity in his career after suffering a season-ending injury on his left knee that was later followed by a ruptured left Achilles caused by a home accident, which forced him to extend his absence from the court. Without its franchise player, the team continued struggling during what was already a difficult season, a trend that extended to last season as the Wizards finished with one of the worst records in the league. Following those results, most people expect the Wizards to remain close to the bottom when it comes to its regular season record, unless they make any drastic moves during the offseason. However, they'll also receive an important addition without needing to give anything in return, and that could improve their chances of returning to the playoffs sooner rather than later. After spending over a season and a half completing multiple treatments, Wall is expected to make its return once next season gets going, meaning the Wizards should have a better chance at winning games. At first, his return wouldn't look like something to be overly excited about. After all, even if he's able to come back at full strength, he'll need to regain his playing condition, something that could take quite a while. And of course, anyone could point out the fact that the Wizards were losing most of the games he played in during the 2018-19 season. However, there are multiple reasons why Washington could be better next season, starting with the fact that Wall will be an upgrade over Ish Smith and Shabazz Napier, even if he's not capable of playing at his best early in the season. Wall's passing instincts could improve an offense that already scored the most points in the NBA, while also allowing Bradley Beal to focus more on his own scoring than on his teammates. And assuming his athleticism remains close to what it was before the injuries, he could become a dangerous weapon in a league that's playing faster each time. Last but not least, his presence should help most of his young teammates like Rui Hachimura, Troy Brown, and Thomas Bryant develop their games at a faster rate, something that could end up determining how well their season goes. But aside from the things he'll bring to the table when he steps on the court once again, there are a few reasons why the point guard could benefit from the way the roster around him has changed. For example, his assists number could go up by sharing the floor with Beal, Bryant, and Davis Bertans at the same time. Still, aside from the fact he'll have a younger supporting cast around him, the greatest difference he may note between the last time he played a game and now is the overall evolution of Beal as a player. His running mate had already been producing all-star-like numbers in 2016, but he took his game to a new level once Wall went down. Without his star teammate around, Beal embraced his role as the best player on the team by raising both his scoring and assists averages, while also putting amazing performances on a daily basis. And while he didn't receive enough appreciation from voters to the All-Star and All-NBA teams, his play and leadership became a bright spot in an otherwise disappointing season for the team. And while Beal's growth was an exciting thing to see last season, the best could be yet to come. With Wall returning, the shooting guard will have new opportunities to score, given that he won't be opposing defense's single focus any longer. And that will also work in Wall's favor. With Beal now being a more capable creator for his teammates, Wall will be able to move more freely from time to time. That could result in situations where he receives the ball close to the basket, allowing him to either attack or create a different play. It could also create catch-and-shoot situations for Wall, and while the point guard has always been regarded as a poor shooter from long range, his percentage when shooting immediately after receiving the ball has been better than his overall three-point shooting percentage in each of the last 4 seasons he's played. Last but not least, Beal's evolution could help Wall expand his game too, something he should be looking at by this point. In his own words, Wall expects to be better than he was before when he makes his return. One of the reasons for that, he says, is because of the work he put in his body and his diet. But he also revealed that he'd been playing through injury for the better part of his last 5 seasons, including bone spurs in his knee and heel. If that ends up being the case and he's able to return as a better player, things could go even better than expected for the Wizards. However, considering his age and his story with injuries, the best would be for him to stop relying mostly on his athleticism. He doesn't need to become an elite shooter from three-point range or add a lot to his arsenal, but if he's able to add a few post moves to his repertoire of circus shots, he could open and add a new dimension to Washington's offense. But even if he doesn't bring anything new to his game, a healthy John Wall, along with the latest version of Bradley Beal, should be able to make his team a playoff contender. After all, the duo could easily be the best backcourt in the Eastern Conference, and that should be enough to reach the postseason. And then, considering there won't be a clear favorite in the East until a team proves to be superior to the rest, winning a couple of series doesn't seem like something impossible for the Wizards if they had the right pieces around their core. All in all, Wall was one of the best point guards in the league, and there's no reason to believe he couldn't reclaim that spot if he's healthy. It may take some time for him to get his body in condition to play at an elite level after being away for so long, but he should still be able to provide immediate help. His vision and creativity could help his teammates unlock a better version of themselves, which should improve the Wizards' offense in turn. And if he's also able to bring back his defensive awareness, he may end up making the defense better too. But now, what do you think about Wall's return? Will it be enough to help Washington get back to the playoffs? Or are we about to see another disappointing season from the Wizards? Let us know in the comments. We hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you did, remember to like it and subscribe to our channel for more NBA content. We are Courtside.